Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your October 2020 reading. Um, there's so many things I love about Capricorn. Many of you know my granddaughter Faith is on the 26th December, and I just love Capricorn. She's a true Capricorn. The personality. There's something, maybe it's the Virgo really respects, and just natural. You guys are just natural beauties, naturally. And I don't know, I just find that you guys have um, the funniest. I feel you're very funny, somewhat in sometimes like in a sarcastic way, but like I get it, and I find you very funny. So there's a lot of things I love about you. By the way, this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You can certainly have planets in Sun, Capricorn. The bottom line is whatever nudged you to the reading, just trust in that, because you may be intuitively guided. I just think whatever brought you, even if you're checking on someone else, I have a feeling that the reading will turn around and we'll talk about them, but we'll also talk about you. In some way. I just feel like it molds itself. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It just left me. But anyway, I just feel like whatever you're here for, it kind of molds itself to you to help you. So, stick around to the end because this is about, also coming up with solutions, being real, my readings I feel like are very real and ask us to be very real with ourselves. It's like otherwise, if we're not real with ourselves, we're not going to understand perhaps like our spiritual growth. So it's like, if you want to grow spiritually, you have to be more real. You have to be willing to look at yourself closely and be willing to just see, if there's something, if there's something you've been hanging on to and it has something to do with pride, and that is about letting it go. I think that's earth signs. That's one of their, I feel like one of their lessons in life is learning how to let things go. Um, and in the mind too. Anyway, that sounded like a speech, and I apologize. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the major arcana. We do this every once in a while. And I'm going to take hopefully three, three cards. Oh. All right, so we have the Hierophant. That is, I don't really look at these when I'm doing a spread like this. I don't really look at these as people, but I do know you'd like me to at least name it. So that is the card of Taurus, and then we have the Lovers, card of Gemini. Interesting, because when that Lovers popped out, it's like instantly I felt this connection to it. Like let me put it another way. It's like instantly I felt like what it felt like to be connected as one of the lovers, like you would be. So I feel like it's like, ooh, a connection, and it's quick. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like undeniable. It's interesting that the Hierophant's like overlooking their energy. It's like he's overlooking it. He is blessing it. That's what he's doing. He's blessing it. Okay. we have the Hangman. So that's somewhat a measure of time, right? Hangman, sometimes things come to a halt. I'm not ready to move forward in something because, sometimes I might be in the energy of I'm not willing yet to see everything for what it is or that type of thing. Or, whatever it is, it's holding myself back. Um, Ultimately, if you're in good energy here, or let's say, you know what I mean? Like if you're in reflective energy and you're hoping to gain wisdom, I feel like that's exactly what you gain. So it's like you can use it one of two ways, right? I can like hang there and just be stubborn or upset, or hold myself back type of thing because he is kind of pulling away from the lovers too. But nonetheless, let's face it, the Hierophant is like, it feels like a blessing. So it feels a lot stronger than you, if this is you or them. It's almost like I'm just going to kind of hang here and, don't know if I'm ready. Um, but nonetheless, the energy is just so strong. And that's probably why I felt like that connection. We have the Hermit. I'm not going to read these in reverse. The Hermit, potentially card Virgo. And look at this, the World. So something new is opening up. Something is being blessed. And you can look at that any way you want. It just feels like it's being blessed. And I very seldom read the Hierophant like that. But I can definitely feel that's how it wants to be read. So, I guess when you look at the Hangman next to the Hermit, it's a little different because it talks about what type of energy, that you're moving into. And maybe you are resistant into like looking deep, going deep, finding those spiritual answers. Maybe, someone is resistant. But nonetheless, I feel like the energy is going to flow. It's like the portal is opening up and you're going to be sucked into it no matter what. So we might as well figure it out, right? Find out what we can find out in the Hermit. And, I feel like going into that type of energy, reflective type energy, looking for those big answers sometimes, whether it's relating to love or life. And I feel like if I'm seeking, if I'm seeking in this energy, I'm growing and I'm gaining wisdom, which, when you emerge from it, you emerge wiser. Um, and that's something money can't buy. I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm feeling like, when I say wiser, I mean really wiser. And that means a lot. So, anyway, and it feels like that reflection is before this portal, let's say this chapter, opens up. So, whether you, I don't know, go willingly, or it's almost because it feels like the Hangman is kind of like getting sucked into the world, but he has to travel through the Hermit to get there. And the Hermit is looking at the world with his lantern lit and in front of him. And, I feel like he's moving from the Hermit directly into this next chapter. And because we open with this blessed energy over here, and it is talking about the lovers, um, and I am feeling it's the lovers, the lovers card can mean a head over heart decision. And that is probably part of it with the Hangman there and the resistance, right? I can be in my head and not following my heart. So, anyways, let's keep going. It's interesting. I do a lot of love readings, but I have to say, very well, I don't want to say very few. They all bring something different. But every once in a while, I'll do a reading where the connection just feels undeniable. And it feels like, it just happened. Just happened. But I think that's where this story begins. Because I feel like, I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's bring in the next deck. And this is like meat and potatoes of the reading for me. This really opens up the reading. And then we'll do some clarifiers. It's funny, I was going to use another deck for you, but I grabbed this one, so I'm going to go with it. So yeah, someone's a little resistant about, you know, seeking this knowledge. Maybe trying to figure out, what is this? What am I feeling? Or something like that. But nonetheless, I feel like they're going to move. You're going to move if this is you. Whether you untie your legs here because his legs are tied to the tree, or the wind does it. It's going to happen. We have the Hermit. Interesting. The Hermit's looking back, but with the lit lantern. So I feel like, I'm looking back, but I feel like with a whole new understanding. I almost feel like I'm looking back a lifetime. So we have the Six of Swords. That's the energy of leaving the toxicity behind. And it may not be easy right in the beginning, but what the Six of Swords promises is as you continue forward in your journey, it's like, you reach the shore much sooner than you expect. The trip isn't as bad as you thought. And better than that, things start to expand. Your world starts to change. You're leaving the toxicity behind. Look at that. Five of Swords. The Hangman. Maybe someone else in this lovers has not left something behind yet. Queen of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. She's our intuitive queen. She's coming under the Hermit, which is nice. So we have the energy, or I should get all the cards out, but we have the energy of you definitely walking away from toxicity. And some of you may have already been through this energy. And there may be another who is just beginning that energy. It's funny, now I'm seeing the 6 to the 5, like here is one already in that movement, right, to clearer skies type of energy. And here is another who is still like in that energy, so perhaps has not left their part of, what they have to leave behind. Not yet. Not yet. We have the High Priestess coming into the world. It's almost like when you move into this next chapter, your intuition becomes easy. It's just there. You begin to trust it like there's no doubt, I feel. And perhaps that's why you had to travel, this route to get to this point, because I really feel like almost like I'm leaving all doubt, all heaviness behind, and it's just dropping off of me. And I don't know, like I have this new I don't want to say focus. I don't know, just like this new energy, almost like new energy of confidence, but it's more than that. And it's funny how I'm looking at this hangman, and the energy, I feel resistance in this one. And it's funny how we resist what really is beautiful energy, right? But there's a fear attached to it. The five, there may be a fear of change. This may be what someone's working at. I know that it will happen because they're looking back at that six, and like, that's what I want too. That's what I want too. But they're just in a different place. But if you could just whisper in their ear, like, it won't be. And that's kind of what the Six of Swords is. It won't be like you're imagining it to be. Like what I'm holding myself back from. I don't know. Like evolution, involvement. Evolving. Almost like rising levels. And the good thing is, when you rise a level, you never go back down. You know why? Because you know better now. You're smarter. You've been there. You've done that. You've survived it. You've figured it out. Um, you made the move. You gave yourself the right to like live. So it's you. It's your spirit. Hangman's kind of the opposite of like, I don't know if I want adventure. I don't know. Okay. Well, there's our question, right? This is someone in their head. There's a blindfold on, so there may be something I'm refusing to see. Um, you know what I mean? The decision's coming, it has to be coming from my head, from memories, that type of thing, from thoughts. And therefore, it's hard to know what to do in that energy. Look at this, we have the Ten of Cups. Beautiful. We have the Wheel, which doesn't surprise me. This is the energy of destiny. So that energy I was feeling right off the get-go, that special energy, here it is within the Ten of Cups and the Wheel together. This is the Ten of Cups. It's destined. Um, and, you can take, well, I don't know. It's like you can take the trip or you cannot. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Look at this, Five of Pentacles. So, Five of Pentacles is an energy of something maybe forcing our hand. It's the energy of being thrown out in the cold. But it's also the energy of what's about to happen next. And that is a lot of the right people start to come into your life. Because no matter what forces you out of something that's not good for you, whether it's you or the tower, I feel like it has to be done. But again, the Five of Pentacles, I'm in uncomfortable energy, so I may be fearful that that's going to remain. Five of Pentacles says, no, it won't. Keep going. You're heading towards a time, and what's it teaching you? You're moving towards a Six of Pentacles, which is all about compassion and empathy. So, sometimes, and this may be the other person here, sometimes, sometimes life strips things away from us and it hurts. But in the long run, what it was all about was our reaction to it, our journey, our spirit. It's like, what are you going to do? You're here. So now what? Who are you going to be? It's your choice, but who are you going to be? We can stay. It's almost like your hand's forced here. But again, I feel like it's what has to happen. But if I was like your spirit guide, it's what I would do. Try to nudge you a certain way. Okay, let's get the last card out. And I feel for you that that is exactly the energy you're moving into is the Six of Pentacles, which it tells me that you learned a lot, that you gained a lot of compassion, you gain empathy, and therefore you never know who you're going to touch, who you're going to help. That can really change their life. So there's just like purpose. Excuse me. There's like purpose behind everything. Beautiful. And then we finish with the Chariot. That's beautiful energy. To me, the Chariot is almost like a blessing that I earned because I balanced my energy. I learned what works, what doesn't work for me. It's a beautiful type of energy, and I feel like when it arrives, it can only arrive when you are seeking it. Ultimately, I feel like this is the energy you take it wherever you want. It's like just go, soar, take it wherever you want. I feel like it's a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But nonetheless, like I kind of feel like you're just taking off, like up into the sky. And the High Priestess is right above that, so. Alright, let's bring the clarifiers in. Let me grab a drink real quick. I sprayed some, I don't know what it was, I think it was Febreze, and it's kind of choking me now. I don't even know why I sprayed it. I really don't like, I don't know. Okay. Let's give it a cut. And we have the Hangman up here, and then we have that Five of Swords, which is when the change is going to happen, right? And the Wheel is like the feeding energy, so again, it's like perhaps someone is learning to allow their energy to guide them, so to speak. We have the Empress. I feel like for some of you, this is your mother's blessing. And I think that may be why I kept saying like a blessing. For some of you, I feel like, it's your mother's blessing. Of what? Well, the Lovers. Well, there's our Six of Pentacles, and, it's coming right over the Lovers. So I feel like it's almost like it's saying this blessing is coming over the lovers, but this is the journey that two of you are going through, and it's different. I feel like it's different, and I feel like one is like a step behind the other. And I do feel, there had to be some uncomfortableness in your life, but I feel like the growth from that, that's what it was all about. Really, it feels like that's what it was all about. You know, I hate to say it was a test because I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it a test. Anyway, with the chariot here, it shows me that you succeeded. We have the Seven of Swords coming over the Hangman. So, this Hangman probably could have some trust issues. We have the Nine of Pentacles coming over the Hermit. First of all, we have double Virgo energy right there. And that could be two Virgos. That could be someone has like Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising, something like that. Jupiter and Virgo. I don't know. We have the Ten of Wands coming over the world. Here's this good news. The Ten of Wands is about, it feels like a heavy burden, a sense of responsibility, and sometimes that is something we put on our own shoulders. Um, you know what I mean? But there is a sense of, again, learning a lot from that Ten of Wands because you know there is a sense of responsibility to it. And I see Saturn in that now, and I have to feel like that is a test. To me, like Saturn is about a test. And, gives you some leeway when they're in retrograde. Go have fun, see what you do. But when it comes back direct, you have to answer for it. So, I don't know. Anyway, look at this. We have the world. So, nonetheless, this sense of, let's say, heavy responsibility, and other people are putting that on your shoulders too. But in a way, you're willingly taking it on, probably because you feel like you can. But maybe like enough is enough. Because, a double world here, I feel like things are changing. Things are changing. But the great news is the world energy is a very spiritual energy. So I'm not surprised the Hierophant opened up your reading, and then you have the Hermit right below that. Because the Hermit's about the wisdom that you gain, and the Hierophant is feeling like quite the blessing over. So, um, I feel like for some of you, you may be, getting lost in your business, or if you don't have a business, getting lost in some types of crafts or something where there was a period where you focused on you, where you, like you had to work, you had maybe started a career, whatever it is, that also was like energy that was meant to be. That time alone, what did it teach you? It taught you how to be alone. It taught you the value of money, taught you many things and there's a reason, and I feel like it's different for everyone. So I can't even really tell you why. All I know is, again, I feel like the potential, if this is you just starting into this energy, some of you are the Hangman and you've been resistant. This is saying, no, go for it. And listen, some of you, it's your wisdom that makes you successful in your business, whatever that is, in your craft. Um, it is that wisdom that you've gained that truly makes you successful, probably beyond anyone else. I don't know, because it's all moving into, again, this very spiritual type energy, and I mean spiritual here on Earth. Okay, I feel like I'm talking too much. So, this hangman, needs to work out a little trust issue. And I think we always got to consider the people around us. Like, who am I surrounding myself with? Even if there's no love, like, what kind of friends? Are they real friends? Or do they gossip? Because whatever energy you hang out in is what you become. You know what I mean? It's hard to resist the pack. So I feel like that also is changing for some of you. It could be work, it could be family, but I feel like you are looking at like the people in your life who tend to bring you down versus setting you free. I don't know. Look at this. We have the Chariot again coming after the Hermit. We have the Nine of Wands, which to me is the perfect card for something that, something was meant to be because I gained a lot from it. The Nine of Wands is about the strength that is gained, the patience. Like there's a lot of different things within it, and I feel like it's added to your collective, wisdom, like beyond just this earthly wisdom, these journeys, and what you're gaining from them. It's almost like they're being used. Interesting. Your reading has like a little bit of a strange twist to it. It's funny because I can feel that. So I just feel like who's ever making those changes, or whatever you're doing here, um, it really serves you. And by the way, from Six of Swords goes down to the Ten of Cups. I don't think in the Six of Swords I even think the Ten of Cups exist. Six of Swords, I'm kind of caught up in what's happening to me right now. So, that's not necessarily the meaning of the card, it's what I'm feeling. So, I may be sitting in energy where I don't even think the Ten of Cups exist, right? Because they have the Two of Swords right before it. So there is doubt, right? There is a little bit of doubt, but I also have the Wheel on the other side of it. So I know it's where you're meant to be, and Ten of Cups can be different things for different people. It's just a very harmonious, loving time. It's laughter. It doesn't mean there's not troubles, but people come together to help, versus everybody freaking out type of stuff. I don't know. It's funny, I also feel the energy of doing this again. And I'm not sure if it's this lifetime or like a past lifetime. So this could also be about lessons that weren't learned. So you agree to this lifetime. But I feel like you're not aware. Because I really don't think some of you think the Ten of Cups exist. But here it is. Whoa. Okay, we're going to take them all. Well, we have Temperance. Excuse me. We have Temperance, beautiful energy. Card is Sagittarius. Some of you may be connected to a Sagittarius. I just did their reading not too long ago. This is about divine timing. So, what I love is, first of all, it's coming over the Hangman. And it's also coming over the Five of Swords. So this energy is very strong, and it's divine energy. This is about divine energy, divine order, divine timing, being at the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? But it's about patience also. Why? Because, things aren't ready, so to speak. Lessons were still to be learned. But nonetheless, here we come. Here we come to the time. We have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords after Temperance and the Five of Swords under Temperance. We have the Two of Pentacles. So possible movement. Because look at this. We have the Wheel with it. So, in a way, I feel like it's just a story of time. It's time. It's, in its time. I also feel this is a story about your journey and the importance of your journey and what you've learned and what you've gained. And now I feel like it's almost like you're cleaning house. Now you're looking maybe at your external. You looked at your internal and then you start looking at your external. Or it could be happening on the other side. Perhaps you mirrored each other just at different times. Because again, I feel like someone is a step behind. But I can kind of let go of that because it's like Temperance has control. We have the Hangman again coming over the Two of Swords. That makes sense. Look at this. We have the Six of Cups. So, this is happy memories of someone. I often feel it's love. Again, coming into the Knight of Wands, perhaps you don't know it. Because again, the Six of Swords, like, I don't think something even exists, but now we have the Six of Cups coming over the Ten of Cups. And that is a lovely energy, right? Because this is thinking of someone and maybe this is helping someone move forward, just the thought, the remembrance. Maybe I'm not expecting anything other than I'm just remembering. And that may be enough to change the energy, right? To start moving you, right? Moving you from the Hangman. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Can be your energy, can be another Capricorn, Virgo or Taurus. And I don't know, guys, look at this. Here's the Ten of Cups again. So, it's funny because I'm doing Capricorn and I feel like sometimes I feel like you guys look at it very carefully, and I don't mind at all. But for every once in a while, I'm reminded that, so I'm reminded like how I say something. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like you don't want to be a pushover. And maybe somebody was just thinking that you just don't want to be a pushover, and it's a process, right? It's a process. But it's taking a step forward in that process that really gets everything moving. You have two wheels, so I feel like you have two wheels by two people having the energy of moving forward, wanting this next. One is a little resistant, but the other one is like, am I ready? Am I ready? And if I am, it's time. This one's trusting, really trusting that making a move, a choice, is for the best. This one is not. The Two of Swords with the Hangman to me is just, no, I'm just going to keep myself right where I'm at. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that's an option, right? But if your mind starts to wander towards someone, and you have, it doesn't mean the whole thing was great. Doesn't mean you were even together before. You could have been friends. But what it means is their energy and the remembrance of them is there. And vice versa, because it's over the Ten of Cups. Everyone there is, in love with everyone there. And I mean that as in just two of us, or if it becomes blended families, whatever it is, I feel like, you know, it's like how I feel with Sam. I understand the journey, and it was hard. It was difficult, but I started to get it. So I started to learn like very quickly, and I knew what I had to look at. And and it's funny, the things that I feared, like moving here, I thought to myself, I don't want to have to get made up all the time. It's just not me. I'm that old 70s girl, you know, no makeup, if I can help it, and t-shirts and jeans, but and it's funny, since I've been here, I am like in a t-shirt and yoga pants, even worse. But it just feels so right, so comfortable. It's almost like it doesn't even matter. It's so funny how I look back and I think about how much fear I put in that, and it never even mattered. So, the only reason I told you that story is because I feel like someone needed to hear that. Maybe you just need to know that, sometimes what we fear really doesn't even exist. And we just have to be careful that we don't create it, right? Because it does become a block. Here is a block. You can still move through it, right? At any time, you can still move through it. But I don't know, maybe the longer I'm in this state, the harder it becomes. But it's still possible. Here is the Ten of Cups. So, I don't know, it's almost like I'm trying to talk you into it. So, I don't know, guys. This just really feels like a special reading. It feels like a step above. Maybe not everyone's gonna get it yet. You may get it later. You know what I mean? Depending where you're at. Because I feel like there's a lot of different movement here, different people at different places. Definitely feel for some of you, it's your mother who, or a mother figure who is sending this, you know, what feels like a blessing to me, in the form of someone just like me. And I feel like that's what you need, And it's funny because that's exactly what I did, Virgo to Virgo. He's Virgo, I'm Virgo. So just like me. Um, I feel like that's you. Hmm. I don't mean to keep putting myself in this reading. It's just that I see it. I see the similarities. I feel like now I see it. I've been there. So, you know, it's after this uncomfortableness, right away there's the Chariot, right? And what's the Chariot ultimately bringing in? The Ten of Cups. It's just part of what feels like your destiny, however it's going to happen. And time will tell. I feel like temperance is like, patience for what's important, what needs to be done. Um, I don't know, and maybe I feel them spiritually, and it may have to be enough for right now, but that doesn't mean forever, right? Because I feel like, this part where I'm focusing on me and I'm building, and you may just be beginning, where you're just beginning this career, you're just beginning, to build up your pentacles. Know how important that is. Um, you really learn a lot in that energy. You really do. And ultimately, it's success. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't know. I just feel like, that's it. That's it. Um, Special reading. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to call it, what I'm going to title it. Because I don't even want to put like a title on this type of energy, because I feel like it feels very spiritual and very meant to be, I just feel like, even though maybe I've had it before, perhaps with this person, perhaps in a different lifetime, it's different. It will be different. It is different. It took, whatever time it was in temperance, it took that time, right? It just took that time. Let me grab another drink. Boy, I'll never spray that again. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it. I really loved it. Thank you for the honor of reading for you. I just loved it. I'm curious to see your comments. I really am for this reading because I feel like some of you are really going to get it, and some of you are like, yeah. And I feel like you're going to come back as you're moving. Like you'll be like, oh, I remember that, and you may come back and be like, okay, let me really look at it now. Let me really see what the message is so I can get there. Um, Anyway, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you your 10 of cups. I love you so much. I will see you next time. Bye bye.